All right, we are live. Hey, everybody. Sorry, tech issue.
Hello.
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 Why didn't you tell me we were going live?
I can't hear you. I can't hear it all now, Drew. Wait.
You can't hear me
that
at
me?
all?
Talk again.
Oh, I'm hitting hit the record button.
Okay.
Oh,
we're
that's
back.
probably it. So it'll probably delay. Okay. Hey.
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
There we go.
Welcome.
Look. Can we just talk about your hair real quick? Because it is just a beautiful, beautiful blue. You are like a pixie queen.
Thanks very much. Yes, thank you. We recently raised over $1,000 for charity over on my stream, and we raised money for F cancer. So as part of that charity goal, it was to dye my hair, and then chat would choose the color, and they chose blue. So I have dyed my hair blue. I've stayed true to my word, and here we are with blue hair. You're gonna be raging when I tell you it's a wig or a filter.
What?
I know. I was like, it's a TikTok filter.
Yeah, it's a TikTok
man.
filter. It's AI these days. What can I say?
It's getting better and better.
Oh my God, Jinx cosplayer Ian, that is tempting as fuck.
Oh.
I love Jinx.
I don't know what it is. Colored hair. I never thought it would be a thing that I would be like. I always like them. I'm like, when I see people with tattoos, part of me and colored hair, I'm instantly I'm way more attracted to that person all of a sudden. There's something about changing or demorphing them, like tattoos. But I would never do that. I would never get a tattoo or dye my hair like that. But when I see other people do that, I'm like, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, to be
cool.
fair, I think
I'm
it really
into
does
that.
change your whole thing. I was doing my makeup before this, and I was like, this is weird because I don't think the colors that I usually do on my face will match the blue hair. So I got something supernatural, but I was like, that's so interesting. Now I have to actually filter around my whole hair. This is now my full personality, basically, and I'm not sorry.
You're full, it's your full, yeah. You have to really lean in.
You gotta
right?
really,
You have to
yeah.
really
Oh
lean in.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to go buy a sword and a trench coat or something too.
yeah.
To really go all in.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes. I'm trying to think what
Or
else
go
I
like
could
the
just get
edgy
a
route.
large hammer, a Harley Quinn style Jinx hammer from Arcane.
Yeah.
I'm set.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like you really have to it's almost like you're in all the cosplay all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're in real time, all the time cosplay. Whatever.
You know what? I got the perfect solution. I just got to get the little ears, little elf ears.
Oh yes.
And they'll just be poking out of my little blue hair.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that idea.
That
It's
would
going
be
to my
so
Amazon
cute.
basket, I swear to God.
Yes.
Send Pagan some elf ears.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be so cute.
I mean, it would be but they just they just poke out a little bit.
They just
see
this is the little tip, and then
Yeah.
it's got a little decor or something.
Would it? But then when you're wearing the headphones, no one would see them.
That's true.
So
I'll have to get
doesn't really
I'll have
matter.
to get one of them Arwen style headpieces for when I'm wearing headphones.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Sorted. I got
If you
this.
want
It's
him,
fine.
come and claim him. That's my favorite line.
Excellent. No, it's so good. To be fair, it's excellent.
Yeah, it's so good. Lord of the Rings, we nerd out all day, but trailer talk today, guys. I woke up this morning, last night, I was putting together the show notes for today. We're gonna watch Napoleon, Ridley Scott's super epic biopic about Napoleon. Hence the name. And then we're also gonna watch another biopic trailer for Bob Marley. One
nice.
Love. So it's a double feature for biopics. But I woke up this morning and I'm because I was like, okay, those are the best two trailers. It's on theme, right? I'm thinking okay, thematically,
Sure.
two biopics, that works. And they're both solid trailers, especially, the Napoleon with Ridley Scott. But then I woke up this morning and what dropped Ahsoka, a full trailer for Ahsoka, which
The Queen.
I watched and it's incredible. And then a Willy Wonka trailer or Wonka trailer dropped this morning, and I was like, God damn you, internet, for messing with our plans. So we're gonna probably we're still gonna do Napoleon by Marley, but hey guys, don't worry, we'll jump on Ahsoka. We're gonna talk about Wonka because it's weird. There's some weird shit going on in that trailer. At another time, maybe next.
Are they so
week,
Ahsoka? I know is
we'll
TV
see.
show. Is Wonka also TV show?
I think it's gonna be a movie.
No.
Oh,
movie.
another
It's
movie?
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Haven't they exhausted this storyline?
Yeah, you know, I think it's yeah.
Like Gene Wilder did it, and it was like
he did it perfectly.
Flawless. Great, yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Then Johnny Depp did it, and it was that's fucked up. And then now they're doing this. Like, why?
Yeah, you know, and as fucked up as it was, I watched that movie probably way too many times because you know I love Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow, so it was like we're in. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, this is really weird. And Tim Burton too. Let's not forget the other important factor.
Yeah, sure.
The Burton factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a prequel, so like a coming of age, like how Wonka became Wonka kind of.
Oh, okay.
Kind of vibe.
I'm alright with that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we don't need it, but it's going to be made anyway, Pagan. That's just how the internet works.
I'm fair. I'm fine with the prequel as long as they don't like spin the same story. You like eating Mike? Is it nom? Drew's been really sick, so Drew is hallucinating and delusional.
I am. I'm in a fever.
In honesty, we shouldn't have let you pick.
I thought my microphone was an ice cream cone.
No. And mics aren't that good for calorie intake. You know, it's bad for the cholesterol.
All I've eaten in 24 hours is like a package of crackers.
Oh,
wow!
I'm on the saltine diet.
The saltine. Oh,
saltine and tea.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Although, great way to lose weight. Listen, just saying, like a little stomach bug.
A little stomach bug.
Just kidding.
Drop a few pounds.
Internet.
Dye my hair purple or pink or blue.
Yeah.
Green. You should go green.
Dye hair blue. It's going around.
We should maybe we all dye our hair.
Maybe you should raise some money for charity, and then you can also dye your hair.
I'll go pink. Again.
Oh, I love pink. I think we could look very good on you.
I've had it once. It was shocking.
Yes, Marie, so he is the salty one. That's all Drew is being.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Nice. Well played. If that's not a dad joke, I don't know what is. Guys, Twitter versus Threads. Have you guys been following the shenanigans? Are you guys on Threads?
I'm not on Threads
yet.
Who are you?
I should be. You know, it's been all work and no tweets.
No. I mean, I would like to.
Yeah.
It is completely banned in the EU. So
that's right.
I actually get, because of GDPR, I can't even make threads.
That's right. Right.
And
well, I mean, you can. You can go sew something tomorrow, but not on not
true.
on.
No, but you can't you tweets on the Twitter, but you threads on the threads, and I can't make threads because I'm not allowed to be on it because of GDPR, and everybody that I know is on it.
Shit or something? Can't you VPN or something?
Like maybe, but then I wouldn't have it on my phone, so what's the point?
Oh yeah.
Like I'd have to go, like the app is literally not available on iPhone in the EU, so I was like, well, there's just no point.
Yikes. Is it worth the switch?
Well, it's interesting. So like, I mean, if I feel like since Twitter got bought by Elon, right? It's kind of been a shit show, and like there's been like Mastodon and like Blue Sky and
a lot.
Like there's been like everybody and their mother is trying to come up with like a Twitter alternative because no one really wants to be in the dumpster fire that is Twitter, but we're all kind of there because it's still the best thing.
Yeah.
And then Mark Zuckerberg was like, hold my beer, and launched Threads like out of nowhere. Like no one even saw this coming. It's attached to Instagram, so you need an Instagram profile, and right away you're in, and in under a week, 100 million people signed up to this thing. I mean, it is literally it's literally the second largest. Like to be fair, I think it took like something like 5 years it took like a year for TikTok to get to 100 million or something like that. And it took like a week for Threads to get to 100 million. So like just put that on a scale of like growth. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like, Pagan, you're like, I'm going to join this thing. Like you're just not allowed to.
I feel like I would definitely join this thing because I like Twitter is such a fucking dumpster fire, and it's just getting worse. Every day I'm on there, it's just getting worse, and he's adding more shit. And honestly, Instagram's been going great. I fucking love Instagram. Instagram's been growing great. Facebook, still great. I still use it. So honestly, at this present moment, Zuckerberg has a better track rate record than fucking Musk does at the minute, because he's just burning Twitter alive, trying to squeeze money out of people. And then Mark Zuckerberg was like, here, have Threads. And we were all like, fucking thanks, Mark. You legend.
Yeah, legend. But but I mean, like, it's like it's like the death by two billionaires, right? It's like neither one is good, right? Like, I mean, if you think about it, what Facebook did for democracy, and same thing with Twitter, right? I mean, like, it's just they're both in it for cash, right? Nothing ever feels right, and you always wish someone would come up with something that feels like not as evil villain corporate guy. Yeah, they did. It's TikTok, and it's owned by China.
You know what it is? But have I seen anything political on that? Because no. You know why? Because it's not on my feed. It's not on my interest. You know what I do see? K-drama, K-pop, fucking amazing recipes that I will never make, but I will watch that same video 6 times.
Yes.
I don't need like there's no bait and any drama. Like, you just swipe past. It's all good, and then you'll see something good. Like, TikTok has the algorithm game down. Twitter, I see dumpster 100%. Fire everywhere I look. Homophobia, fucking transphobia, fucking racism. I'm like, how are you allowed here? So, honestly, TikTok's got the win for me. God bless TikTok.
God bless TikTok, Jesus. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna like. Here's the deal. Like, I'm not gonna talk too much shit about TikTok. I just think it's a different type of platform. I look at TikTok like entertainment. I look at Twitter like information. And I agree. Like, Twitter's definitely gone the route of like it's harder to find the real and the noise. But it's hard, right? Like, I don't want to have Twitter and Threads, but I can't get rid of Twitter yet. Maybe everyone will and the thing is too, like, I curated my Instagram specifically for like a different purpose. Like, it was more for like friends and family, like photos. I put photos of my kid on there, and like, travel photos, like, like, I never used it as like a business or like
it's more of your personal.
Yeah. So like the people that like I are on Threads, like, I'm gonna like, it's also fascinating to see the people on Threads, because they're part of my Instagram profile, like starting to use Threads, but they were never on Twitter. So it's sort of like an interesting dynamic of seeing like their inner thoughts now on Threads of people I've never heard their voice in that format before. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like communicating with people in a different way that you'd never seen them use that platform before, but they're using it, and it's kind of very fascinating to see kind of how that all goes down. I don't know. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting week and a half with Threads coming out. I don't know.
I'll have to check it out, because I remember when I first got Twitter, and I was like, I don't know how to use this thing, because like I was so used to like Instagram. Yeah. I didn't really post anything on Facebook, and I was like, okay. So I'm like, so I just write something? Like, I was like, what do I do? Like, and then, with CouchSoup, I started to be like, oh, okay, like, I see now what to do. And then, I still don't really use it, but like, I don't know, like, it's such a weird, I don't know, because Instagram, like, I like looking at pictures. I like looking at videos. I'll watch videos without any audio, and I'm like, I still get the gist. Like,
same.
Like,
and the auto subtitles and stuff like that, and the subtitles on the stories, so helpful.
Yeah.
So it is kind of interesting to have another player on the board.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's got some work, right? Like, where Twitter, like, it has like a just the people I follow feed, right? Like, or it has like a For You feed, which is kind of like, it'll serve up people that you think you might be interested in. Threads kind of just lumps everybody into one feed, so you're going to get people that you follow, but also like people that I don't follow, like celebrities and
Twitter does that.
Like that.
Twitter does that to me all the time. There's plenty of shit in my feed that I've never seen before. I don't follow them. Nobody's liked them. I don't know how the fuck they're ending in my feed.
Yeah, well, there's two feeds, right? There's the For You feed, which is the everyone and your mother, and then there's the following feed, which is just people that you're following.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to kind of curate that. But at least they have that, right? Like, so,
right, fair.
And because it's kind of annoying, like, because right now on Threads, I agree, like, it's kind of annoying to be like seeing like tweets or threads from like, I'm like, I don't follow this Yahoo, like, I don't, why do I? And so that is kind of annoying. I hope they do kind of curate or give me the ability to just see people I follow, because it's like, do I care what Khloe Kardashian's doing? Not really. So
But it's in early stages, though, no? Like, do you not think that they will just eventually
Oh,
change
yeah.
I think
it?
so. It's just weird they didn't launch with something like that. It seemed like a dumb, no-brainer kind of thing, like a user experience kind of. But I do think they rush it. They think they saw a window of opportunity and said,
I
like,
think
let's
so
get this
too.
thing out there.
I think they're like, let's just go and we'll fix it later.
Yeah, I think it's definitely and definitely you could, by the response, it definitely feels like people were in. And it's also fascinating where I think you're gonna all the celebrities 100% have moved over to Threads because they don't have to now. They get their blue check mark back.
Oh, I was just gonna ask about that. Yeah,
and they don't have to pay for it.
So many companies have done it like instantly. I've even seen I think some of the UK companies as well. Like they tweeted out like this is our new thread, or they put it on Instagram and stuff. And I was like, what already? Wow, like that's crazy. Like they just snapped it up. All those companies just took advantage. So
so I think Twitter's got its handful. I mean, I haven't given up on Twitter, just that I'm hoping it'll, like, I don't know, I spent a lot of time curating that platform. It's still like a labor of love for me, but I do think Threads has a lot of potential. So we'll see if you guys want to follow me on Threads. I think it's just at Drew Lewis. Same as everything else I'm at. So
whenever I get Threads,
and then once Pagan gets out of UK purgatory,
GDPR jail. There is the like you can't delete that account though without deleting your your Instagram. Like they will be linked. Yeah.
It's super
it'll be linked. Okay.
Which is interesting. Like I don't love that feature, so maybe hopefully they'll get rid of that one day. But
but I mean,
it's linked,
like, who cares?
So who cares?
You don't have to like use it. You know,
true.
you can just have it and not tweet or thread, whatever the fuck.
True.
They need a new name for it. So they need like a little catchphrase. Threading.
Hold on a second. I just got a thread. No.
I know. Doesn't really.
Drew, thread this out. No, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I like tweet better because it was like tweet.
Make sure to thread this out to your audience when you're going live. How do you say it? What do you say?
I think that you're saying it.
Thread it out. Spin it out. Spinning?
Thread.
Like spinning?
Spin. I like spin.
Like spinning threads?
Spin.
Twirl.
Ooh, yes.
Twin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone smarter than us.
Someone will know. Some genius marketing person will know.
You know who would? You know who's smart enough to figure this out? If he was still alive, Napoleon Bonaparte. And we are gonna watch that trailer now. After I give you a quick setup.
Yeah,
so,
let's go.
Obviously, if you haven't, this is directed by Ridley Scott, who has done every great, awesome movie ever imaginable.
Yeah,
Blade Runner, Martian, Gladiator,
Alien,
Black Hawk Down, you name it. Screenplay by David Scarpa from The Last Castle, Day the Earth Stood Still, Man in the High Castle. Stars Joaquin Phoenix, Vanessa Kirby, and Catherine Walker. How do you say that? Someone help me. Ludovine Saginer. Man, that is a mouthful. Ludivine. Senior. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Napoleon. So super big epic. Apple TV Plus. It's gonna be in theaters first. Let's give this thing a watch.
It'll be in theaters first before Apple TV?
Yes.
Have they ever done that before?
Yes.
With
maybe it was
with an Apple TV Plus production?
Yeah, they did that with their Academy Award winner.
What was it called?
I'm gonna need receipts. Coda.
Yes, that's what it was.
Oh, I didn't hear about that either. Okay, cool. I didn't know they did this.
Won
Okay.
Best Picture.
Awesome.
That's all, Pagan. You know, if you're into that kind of thing, awards.
Honestly, I used to.
Why are you on this show?
Oh, what is this?
Because I have blue hair.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It messed with your brain.
It did. It's going inside.
It's just going to be happy elf music on the inside.
Yay.
Yeah.
I know. We're going to hit play. It's going to be like some elf thing. I'm like, what are you watching?
I would meme you like that, though. That would definitely be me. Okay. All right. Hit and play in 3, 2, 1, play.
I like the drums.
Ooh, that's a good start.
Oh, Marie Antoinette.
We must make an example or France will fall.
Da, 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 da.
What would you do?
Ooh, the guillotine.
Yes. The Bastille.
I promise you brilliant successes.
Ooh.
Yeah. This looks so
Oh.
fucking good.
Yeah, just
Sorry.
list off like every movie he's ever made. There
Look
you
Yeah.
go.
at
That's
this
fine.
color. I love the
This
yellow.
is my uniform.
Hello, Vanessa.
She's great, honestly. I
I
love her.
led the French victory at Toulon.
Ooh. Ooh.
What is your name?
Napoleon.
Has the course of my life just changed? Napoleon.
She has such a great voice. Oh my
Destined
gosh.
for greatness.
Look at the. Oh my.
Those in power will only see me as a
Look at
sword.
that.
I suggest you take the throne as a king.
Oh.
With like a
Shall we
little.
vote?
Shall we vote? Nice.
Wow.
This vermin has held the world hostage with his egotism and his lack of simple good manners.
That was slick.
You think you're great? You are just a tiny little brute that is nothing without me.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
Wow,
Them
this is-
fighting
that was
words.
harsh.
What's the outcome of this if you don't succeed?
Your Majesty, we are discovered.
Oh no.
Wow, look how well that's shot. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
I'm the first to admit
It's a trap.
They're doomed.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh my
That's cool.
god.
we never do.
that's cool.
Woo! Not the horsey.
Okay. Yep. Shut up and take my money. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Yep.
Ooh.
Shut
Wow.
up and take my money. Yeah, right.
Wow.
That looks pretty epic.
Yeah,
Pretty-
epic is a
what do you-
good word. Epic is a
Epic is a
very good
great
word.
word.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah. Who wants to go first? What'd you think?
I think the way it's shot is beautiful. Like all of the scenery and stuff. You get a lot of wide shots, a lot of extras, a lot of drama happening. I love to see it. I love to see all that. I think it's really cool. It's giving me Les Mis vibes without the music.
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting.
little bit.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the French Revolution.
Yeah.
No, but it is really, really great. I think the costumes look really cool. I feel like, I don't know if it's just, maybe it's just me recently watching like films in other languages, but I don't know why. There's always like the initial hump that I have to get over is the fact that they're either using their own accents or they're using like English accents usually, right? There's either like we're all using English or we're using your own. Seems like they're using their own because Joaquin Phoenix sounds like he's kind of American and Vanessa is English, and a little bit of me is just like, you couldn't have done it in French. Like you couldn't have done it in French. Maybe even a French accent, but then maybe that would have been bad. But like, how cool? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like it looks epic. I love the characters. I love the actors. I think they look really cool. But part of me is like, this probably would have been really cool with like French actors, and it would have been like so sick to see this in French. But I think that's just me because I've been spending a lot of time with like foreign film. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. And because I watched this trailer yesterday. So like the first time I watched it, I felt the same way because I was like, I feel like it's missing something. And then I was like, oh, like there's no, because I don't want like a bad French accent, but I felt like it needed a little bit more to kind of play up to it. So it's not feeling like, I don't know, like it's lacking because they put so much effort into like the stylization, like the costumes, everything, like the set design. Wow. Like, so
Yeah, like it wouldn't put me off. Like it doesn't put me off
No.
this film, but there's that small initial hump as soon as I watch a trailer like this, and I'm like, you know, like it's such an integral part of French history that I'm like, oh, I kind of wish, like just a little itty bitty part of me wishes that the film was actually done in French. Like if Ridley Scott directed a French film with French actors who were incredible. I don't know,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
other than that,
yeah.
I
Or
think
even
it looks incredible.
if the actors that he got that were American spoke French, right? You know, like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I hear you. In a world where we now have like so many foreign films that have and TV shows that have gotten like hugely popular that most people have watched, like Squid Games. Is that right?
Yeah, Squid Game.
Like like the amount of people that people that watch that with subtitles, right? You
Yeah.
know, and I think to your point, it would have added to the legitimacy, or legitimacy is the wrong word. The I don't know,
Just like almost the authenticity of it. Like it just feels.
Or even like
authenticity, thank you.
bilingual,
Yeah,
like
the
Yeah,
authenticity of it. Yeah.
yeah.
Although I will say, like again, it doesn't put me off. It's just that initial hump that I get over, and like being super real. This looks like an Oscar-nominated film. Like this looks like an Oscar-worthy film. If they had put it in French, or if they'd done it in French, it's so hard to even get recognized for that work. Like there's so many good foreign films out there that don't even get recognized. So I feel like obviously it's probably a better choice for them as production managers and producers and everything to create this in an English film, because more people will see it and more people will consume it. So I can understand the meaning. It's just like part of me is like, I would have been a cool French film.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine the bold move that, like, imagine Ridley Scott making like a blockbuster at this scale, but in a foreign language, right? Like to me, that would have been like, holy shit! Like, talk about putting something mainstream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Yeah.
You know, and imagine then this getting put in instead of the foreign film Academy Award, it gets put in.
It just gets put in Best Picture.
Yeah.
You could put in Best Picture. You know, so I think there could have been an opportunity here. Maybe that's missed, to your point. That that could have been really very powerful. That said, I agree. I think we're all gonna watch this, and I'll kind of probably be blown away regardless. But
same. Yeah. I mean, like it's like watching Gladiator back now, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's the same thing.
So good.
None of them have accents either, and like so it's the same thing. Like I'm over it. It's just that it would have been a cool opportunity, but gosh darn, does this look like a good feckin' film? Wow. It looks. I love the color grading on this as well. A lot of it's like gray or whites or like misty almost. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Misty's a good way to put
Misty's
it.
a great word.
There's like this film like all over it, like this weird
haze.
Like, haze, yeah, that's across of it. Like every shot looks like it's done after a battle. Like you know, like all the smoke is in the air. You know, like there's so much smoke in there.
Yeah, there was a French show that I've had watched on Netflix. I think it's called like Bonfire of Destiny or something like that, and it had like probably like the same-ish time period, maybe a little bit later, like in Napoleon's like lifetime, but it still had that same kind of like dusty, like, you know, you feel like the air is not very clean, like, and so like that's kind of like how I felt, like especially like when like they're showcasing all of Ridley Scott's works and they're putting all the titles up on the screen, and that whole shot of the staircase in the yellow, like it just felt like like if you walked into that room you'd be like, oh, like it's a little the air's a little heavy in here, but like this movie, I'm amazed at, like, first of all, like the amount of people in this film, like not just like the main actors, but like all the extras, like just the amount like that of
Big
people
production.
that just filled the screen. Like it's a huge production. And like Napoleon is like, you know, in his time of being in the military and like being emperor, like like millions of people died, you know, citizens and soldiers.
Yep.
So like to me, like I'm like, okay, this is going to be a really intense like military-esque film, you know, and he's such a, I don't want to say controversial, but like as like a man, like he had like his complex, you know, and so I'm curious too to see kind of like how they portray that. And Joaquin Phoenix, like when he gets angry in movies, I'm like, oh shit, like like it's and he got really angry in like Gladiator, and it was cool to see like that, you know, because in Gladiator you had like the same kind of like gold, you know, laurel leaf crown, and then to see him in this like with another kind, I was like, oh, like this is so cool. Like it's, oh my gosh, I don't know, and I'm such a history nerd, like I'm excited to, you know, to see this just based on that. And I don't know how accurate it's going to be, but like
I mean, I imagine it'll be somewhat accurate, right? I'm sure there'll be like and I guess that goes to my point. Sure. It's sort of like like from what I remember, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a history professor by any means, but in school when we learned about Napoleon, you kind of learn that he's not really a good guy. Like he wasn't really like thought of as like, hey, this guy this guy liberated, you know,
Yeah.
the people, and like
He wasn't
you know, took
Napoleon
over
the
France.
Great.
Yeah, it was the conqueror, right? And he
Yeah.
kind of was exiled.
He's just
and,
brutal.
You know,
Like, yeah, he was
very
Right.
brutal.
He was brute force. There was no
l-
compassion.
Yeah.
led a rebellion on his own country, right? You know, in a way. And so it's interesting that, you know, for him, or I guess my question to you guys is like, do you think the movie's going to work really hard to make us like Napoleon, or do you think it's going to be just you're along for the ride, kind of like watching this tyrant in a way kind of do his thing, and is that enjoyable?
I think he's kind of like your anti-hero, maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
or, you know, like like what you're saying, like even though you may not necessarily fully agree with him or like him, like, you know, he may have, I don't know, yeah, like you're forced to follow him, and like so he may have thoughts that maybe you agree with, maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, why did you do that? Like kind of moments.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's interesting because he wasn't.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Steph. Although I feel like maybe the anti-hero might just... I don't even know. I feel like this looks definitely more like a factual biopic, almost. Like, I think they are going to really focus on his, like, military tactics and stuff like that. Like, stuff that was, like, really revolutionary in those times. Like combat techniques. And you can see it in the trailer. Where he ambushed soldiers on an ice lake, and also like when he's his soldiers only have like their, what are they called, like the pistols with the
bayonets.
Yeah, the bayonets, where they're like circled, and they almost use like this Roman tactic where they square up and then they square up again and behind, and then they have this like triple threat, almost like this impenetrable tank in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that it's not so much about liking him, it's about maybe respecting him in a way, which is going to be an interesting take, honestly. Like, but
his intellect,
yeah, just respect it. Like, he rose to power. He did what he did. He conquered as he conquered. He wasn't super compassionate. He wasn't like known to be like the nice man, king of the people. So
yeah,
I think it's probably just more about like let me just show you what he actually did, because those military tactics are still studied today. So I think like maybe it's just more about that. Maybe it's like, let's just tell this story about this guy, see a bit about the man behind the tactics, and then really like let's kind of expose those tactics and see what they did and how they worked and stuff. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I think the more I was thinking about it too with the trailer, and how they really leaned in the trailer on like him as a tactician, and there's a lot of shots of him sort of like, to your point, conquering, you know, like there's a lot of battle shots, like you see the siege of and Cairo,
You see it in pyramids.
and which is, it's wild to see, like even though it's not real, right, it's obviously CG, but to see the pyramids get like a cannon get like, it just like, I'm like, no, you know, like,
please no.
You know? yeah it's like weird to see that, like as a visual. It's like watching like the White House explode in Independence Day. You're like, holy shit, like that's crazy. But so it'll be very interesting to see how they bridge that gap, right? Because it's like, you don't want to be in a movie where you're sort of like waiting for this guy to get his comeuppance, right? You know, like where you're just like, oh, I can't wait for this guy to just finally die or whatever, you know, like, because then you're sort of like, you're not really in it. It's not entertainment. It feels more like you're waiting for it to end versus like, in it, you want it to keep going, right? So it'll be interesting to see how Ridley threads that, because I think that'll really determine if this film feels like a 3-hour like slog or a 3-hour epic, you know, like a Gladiator. So that'll be fascinating.
Like, even from the trailer, it feels like a Gladiator style epic. Like, this looks like a really big, I think this could become one of those classics that, you know, like Gladiator that you watch all the time and you can just go back to. I think that this that has definitely got potential for that. I think because of the action, because that it's so heavily focused on its tactics and stuff. I don't know. I think there'll be a lot of smart moves in this. If you know, when you watch it and you're like, oh, that was smart. It was good. I think there'll be like a lot of those moments.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah. Only
Well,
if
then-
somebody says the line, "Are you not entertained?"
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Until that happens.
Is Ridley Scott like one of those people that will like put Easter eggs and stuff? I feel like he doesn't really, does he?
No,
Not really.
Not so much.
Dang it!
No.
Yeah,
It'd be
I don't
kind of
think we're
cool
gonna
to
see
see like the
a
extra from,
replicate
like,
Yeah.
Alien
or an
something.
alien in
Yeah.
this movie. Yeah,
Oh.
maybe unless they yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. Like
I don't know.
Black
Unless,
Hawk Down.
unless
I mean,
like,
all of his movies.
one of the
are-
horses is sick, and then all of a sudden, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, this is a
crossover
different
you
kind
never
of
knew you
movie.
wanted.
Like maybe it's
Yeah,
gonna be like
this
those
is-
Once Upon a Time in
took
Hollywood
a
where you're
turn.
like, oh, it's a biopic, and then be like,
Yeah.
bam, oh,
Did not see
what a
Oh,
that
different
wait a
coming.
ending.
second.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
How Napoleon would have defeated the alien.
Yeah.
Is the movie we all really want. What do you guys think of, like, obviously Napoleon is known for not only his tacticians, but he was also kind of like, he's like the staple thing you make fun of when you have like a Napoleon complex, but also for like his shortness, right? Like, wasn't
He's a
he
short
thought
guy,
of as
yeah,
being like
apparently
this short guy? But in this trailer, they skirt that completely. Like, so that's not even. And in a lot of shots, he actually looks as tall, if not taller, than people and that he's around, which
I
is
actually believe
strange that they didn't like overemphasize like him. You know how in the
short.
cartoons or
Oh,
anytime
yeah, yeah, he's,
Napoleon's
like,
being
really short.
depicted, it's like this like little. He's a little guy. He's
Yeah.
a little guy.
Well,
right?
as far as
With
I
the
know,
big hat.
like factually, I don't think he was short. I think he was of average height at the size
Let's see
at
how
the
tall he
time,
was.
and he was like of
Oh,
average
he's
height.
5'6".
Yeah, he was of average height at the time, so 5'6" wasn't short. But I think
Okay.
that the media, when they wanted to belittle him, they made him short in cartoons. So people just automatically assumed he was short. And then they made fun of his like shortness because he had short temper. And then he would like have this god complex where like he's the almighty, all being type thing. But also people were then like, the best way to put him down was basically make him feel smaller than he was. Is as far as I know, because I think that had been brought up before in some sort of history quiz and be like, was Napoleon short? And I was like, no, yes, maybe. But factually, I don't think he was actually technically
Yeah.
short for the time period. No, that's why. Because when I was watching it, I was like, wait, isn't he supposed to be? And I was like, oh yeah, no, I have to remember this.
It was meant to be more of like, he's short in the sense that his ego, like, you have to like cut him down. Like,
Yeah.
apparently it's like, it's sort of like a, like, again, that this idea of like the
Yeah.
Napoleon complex, right? You're making up for something, right? He felt short in his world.
Yeah, he
but his
wasn't. But
ego had the right.
it seemed like people in France, in Britain, in all of the other media that were trying to belittle him, they would depict him as a short man. Because I think they were just like making fun of him. They'll be like, oh, this little man and his toys, or this little man and his horses, or whatever. It seemed to be the vibe
Yeah.
of the media at
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is
Cartoonists.
5'8". So, and Vanessa Kirby's 5'7", so there is
8. Really? 5'7"?
that difference. Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah,
I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix was only 5'8". Wow.
I think it was interesting though, because I felt like in the trailer they kind of leaned in a little bit, like when she was,
She's taller than him.
like, oh, you're, I forget what she says now in the trailer, but it was like a line where it's like, oh, okay, like,
Oh yeah, where she
you
says
don't
like, you're
like
nothing
him.
without me.
Yeah, like you're
Yeah,
nothing.
you're like a little man. You're nothing.
Yeah.
So I was,
Yeah.
so I felt like they really were kind of like playing into it, or like the fact like he's walking up the stairs and then he's out of breath. Like I don't know what was happening beforehand. Like I don't know, maybe he was rolling around on the floor with her or something, and then he's like, "Oh, I gotta go to my meeting," but like he's like,
Oh, shit, honey, I gotta go.
"I gotta go," and he like shows up and he's like huffing and puffing, and I was like, so like I feel like there's probably gonna be some things that they play into, and I don't know if he had health issues too. Like I'm curious, like, because like.
Well, I mean, no spoiler, but yeah, I think he eventually dies from health issues. But
Yeah, so like I'm curious to
Spoiler:
see too.
he dies. What?
What?
It's like going to see the Titanic and being like, spoiler, it sinks.
yeah, spoiler:
What?
the boat.
Wait a minute.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. Hold up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think so. Like, let's break it down. Prediction wise, guys. This looks expensive. It's Ridley
Yeah.
Scott. It's behind this thing. It's got a nice cast. But he did make a pretty big bomb. The Last Duel was a huge bomb. Like, it did not make the money, and it was an expensive production. Do you guys think this will be The Last Duel? And if it is a bomb, do you think it'll be a hit or a bomb? And do you think Ridley can recover from that if he does?
I don't know, because I think it's a really good trailer, but I did watching it. I did feel like there might be something that it is lacking in, which kind of made me a little like nervous for the movie, because like I love Gladiator so much, and this kind of brought that excitement. So I feel like it might do okay. I would love for it to do well and get that like huge recognition and have him have a comeback, because The Last Duel, or I think that's what it was called, was not not good.
I think that this will be a success. I think with the rise of like period dramas and stuff like that, I think like, you know, with Bridgerton and with Hamilton and all that kind of stuff, I think with the rise of that popularity, I think that it's really good that he's chosen to make a period piece. And we haven't had a really good epic period piece like this in a long time, and also Ridley Scott is doing it. So the last time he did an epic period piece was Gladiator, I assume.
I think so.
Because obviously Blade Runner was there too, and I think he did Blade Runner 2049 as well, but not the same. Like, not on the same scale. But yeah,
he also did House of Gucci. That's right.
Oh yeah, and that was a success. So I think that I think that this will be a success.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it in cinema though. I think I'd rather wait until it comes out on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, interesting. Even on the scale of what you're seeing.
Same.
Yeah, but I'm just like a hermit at this stage.
Yeah, I feel that.
I just want, like, I don't like people, and I don't like the fact that me going to the cinema is going to cost me €50. Like between tickets and popcorn and like
it's
paying
expensive
for your partner, but like it's just an expensive experience. I don't know. I think COVID has really spoiled me there, because I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until it comes out on streaming platforms, because then it's not going to cost me anything. It'll cost me like €6 in Tesco for like some snacks and some popcorn that I can make myself. I can get up and pee and pause the film and not miss anything. I will
and
miss
if you
the
don't like
sound,
it,
though.
you can change it.
Yeah. I think the only thing I'm interested really in seeing right now in the cinema is probably Oppenheimer. And maybe Barbie.
Yeah, but this feels similar to an Oppenheimer, right? Like this feels like that is a biopic with an epic scale as this. I hear you. I'm just, you know, it's interesting.
No, I feel you.
What
I'll let you know after Oppenheimer if I'm broke, and then I'll go.
I just think listen, I think as much as I agree with you, like some things I'm like, yeah, I could probably wait. But I do like going to the theater. I think it's I like watching movies with strangers. Like, I don't know, there's something about that shared
holding hands with strangers.
Shared moment, you know, when you're all either laughing at the same time or going wow at the same time, you know, there's something.
I feel that.
I think I don't know. I feel like that's much more fun as an experience when it's a sequel or you know, or something like that, like you know, because people have already seen the first one, like, you know, like Marvel films. If you go see Marvel films in the cinema and it was like the first like weekend of release, so you're seeing it with people who are also seeing it for the first time, and you're watching Endgame, and people are so invested in that they're like, you know, like I really like that kind of stuff. Whereas I feel like maybe it's just Irish cinema. Irish cinema is just almost very polite. Like the occasional mobile phone will fucking light up and you want to deck somebody, but I think maybe just Irish cinema in general is very light. So like, when something does happen, you're like, like there's never like an actual vocal cry.
There's no open reaction. You got to go. You got to go to the movies in the U.S. where like literally the people are screaming, "Don't go in the door! Whatever you did! Oh my god!" Like they're like that.
That's
like
me in horror movies.
They're more vocal. We have a more vocal crowd.
Maybe not.
I mean,
I had a conversation. I want to watch my film.
Yeah, I had a conversation with the guy because I scared him. I think I've told this before because I was seeing it and I totally jumped and like we're both like we were screaming and then laughing because I scared him because I jumped and
yeah.
Was he sitting next to you?
Like, oh yeah, and so we were just laughing. It was like it was the best thing ever because I was like, this is great. Like,
yeah, so interesting.
That's the kind of interactions you can't get at home.
That's definitely not here. But let me tell you, I've never been to the cinema where there's been a collective experience.
If Napoleon isn't your jam for seeing in the theaters, maybe our next feature will be right after this. And we're back. That's just how that works.
Oh my gosh, hi. Wow.
In the podcast world, that's how that works.
Yes.
So we're gonna watch Bob Marley. Our next trailer, Bob Marley, One Love, directed by Reinaldo Marcus Green from you may know him from King Richard. He did the King Richard biopic as well with the Why am I blanking on their names? Help me out.
Will Smith?
The Serena Williams, the
Oh,
Williams
that
sisters.
one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, with Will
forgetting.
Smith and Serena Williams and Venus Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, Venus Williams. Thank you. And then he also did Monsters and Men, and We Own the City, starring Kingsley Ben-Adir as Bob Marley, Lashana Lynch as Rita Marley, and
We love
Michael
her.
Gandolfini and Anthony Welsh. So yeah, guys, let's watch this. This looks really cool. I'm a big Bob Marley fan. So
Okay. All right. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Okay. So I'm gonna press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, you want to start?
From the beginning.
Oh, sick.
Aww. Yeah.
Reggae is a people music. People coming together.
You know you're a superstar.
I'm a superstar. There's a war
Just
going
chills
on.
with music now.
You can't separate the music and the message.
Cause every day we pay the price.
And what is the message?
Sacrifice.
Peace.
Oh, life is worth much more than gold.
Oh my. Oh.
oh my gosh, that would be awful.
Bob, they tried to kill you and your wife. And now you're choosing to return to Jamaica to play a peace concert? Don't you fear for your life?
So we gonna walk through the roads of creation.
Shame.
My life is not important to me.
Are you satisfied
My life is for people.
with the life you're living?
Do you really think this world will make it?
Yes. There's no other way.
Exodus,
That's the source of your strength.
we know where we're when we went Babylon. We're going to a fatherland. We know where we're going. We know where we're from. Open your eyes. Look within. Now, 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 now.
Wow. Oh my gosh. The way this film is shot and edited so far.
One love, one heart, one destiny.
He's got such a lovely smile.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Cool.
Teary-eyed.
That was powerful.
Aw.
That was powerful.
That was a
What a
really
guy.
good trailer.
What
Like,
a
he
guy.
seemed like such a nice guy, like, and such a good man. I think it's interesting they went with the One Love title for this movie because there was a One Love movie back in 2003.
Oh really?
So I thought
wow.
that's interesting. This looks really good. I hope this gets as much attention as other biopics have had, like, you know, like the Bohemian Rhapsody, because this feels like it's on that level.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah. Good point.
Oh,
It's just that trailer was
Yeah.
so well put together, wasn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah. It was
Like
an
it
Yeah.
would, it would just swap you between like a happy moment, a musical moment, then there's like some kind of tragedy or drama or threat, and then it's putting you back into like a happy, and then I was all over the shop with emotions in this trailer.
yes, I know.
Yeah.
And towards the end, when it was building, I was like, oh my god, like I just felt like I was starting to just get really emotional because I just loved the editing and the music and the color and
Yeah.
the pacing was really good. Like, I think it amped it up, and then it kind of calmed you down a little bit to kind of, you know, have you acclimate a little bit more to, you know, what this movie is going to be. And then really just kind of like, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be intense. It's going to be a little cool, you know, and fun and like, you know, peaceful like him. But, wow.
Yeah, wow. This is incredible. I actually don't know that much about Bob Marley, so I'd be very interested to see this. I know his songs, of course, but I don't actually know anything about the man behind the songs. I don't know anything about him. So I think that'll be really interesting to see. But like the biggest thing that stood out for me in this whole like trailer was like the color grading is all like it's hitting such good points of like the Jamaican flag, like Jamaican colors, and it's kind of emphasized in the text that's coming up. That's like in the Jamaican flag gradient, which is just lovely. But also like it looks so impeccably acted. No, like this looks like one that like holy, like if you don't get an Oscar for this, I don't know what's how it's rigged. Like it's fucking rigged.
Honestly,
and let me just tell you, because wow, this looks so good. What are your thoughts, Drew, as like a fan? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's pulling like it's like watching the trailer, like Kingsley Ben-Adir, like it's like a masterclass, right? Like it's like I think like it's like Bob Marley's alive, right? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the way he sounds and the smile, you nailed it, because that's like when you see any photos, he was always smiling, like he always had that like that big smile on his face. No, this looks, I was really like when I saw this trailer, I was kind of like expecting kind of like, I don't know, not like low budget, kind of like you know, it wasn't given the reverence it deserves, but like after watching the trailer, I'm like, yeah, no, this feels like it's done with a lot of love and done right, and it's shot well. Like it feels like you could see there's money like put into this, like even like the historical aspect of it, like when of the soldiers and them driving down the street and the like the militarization around Jamaica and stuff like that. Like it all feels like thought through, right? You know, like they didn't like skimp in areas, you know, or really sugarcoat it. It kind of feels like they really went all in, and it just feels right. And guys, I mean, Bob Marley, his music is just incredible. Like so, like it's to me, like when you go see Bohemian Rhapsody and you're like listening to Queen and you get that feeling at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody when he's singing, I forget what song he was singing, but like you're just like, you know, you're like, yes, you know, part of those making those movies so powerful is the great music. Same thing with like Rocket Man or Elvis, right? Like you're hearing those songs, like dude, the moment like Exodus or like, you know,
or Selena even,
No Woman No Cry comes on, you're like, you're just gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be like a ball of like tears, right? Like you could just feel the emotion from his music, right? And then putting that to visuals that are powerful. I just feel like this is gonna be a pretty powerful film.
Yeah,
for people, I hope people go see it. Me too. I just feel like it's a good story. I think Bob Marley's music is just transcendent. I think it's one of those artists that, to me, is even more impactful than somebody like Queen or even Rocket Man. I just think his music, I don't know what it is. When a Bob Marley song comes on, I am transported. Like I am instantly like on a beach somewhere. I am in a paradise. I want a cold drink beer in my hand or a margarita. I want to be chilling. I want to be relaxed. Like it is that type of music where I just feel like it is, and there's no one else who's been able to recreate that. On that level.
Yeah. Well, and I think it comes down to like the lyrics too, and like the messages that he was, you know, trying to put out there, like, you know, what he wanted, you know, to say. And I think that too also speaks to it, because not a lot of artists do that, especially with music today. Like it's either, you know, like more of like club dance music, or there is like a story to it, you know, like, and it's just not as popular, but it's, so to me, like, yeah, his music, it was just on a completely different level compared to, you know, what other, you know, artists I've listened to, or like even with like Queen, like Bohemian Rhapsody, like my mom and I were talking about this the other day, because like in America, especially like at sporting events, they always play like We Are the Champions, or what's the other one?
We Will Rock You.
We Will, like, and they always play those, and I was like, I always got so tired of them, because it's like, you know, you always heard it, and then watching the movie, I was like, I have a newfound appreciation for those songs, like, and I have a different kind of like respect, a different kind of feeling. And so like I already respect like Bob Marley's music, so I think for me this would maybe just even like help me understand him a little bit more and feel like, because you know I wasn't around when he was around, you know, to understand him a little bit and kind of get to know him, and see who he was.
Yeah, and it'll be cool. Like I think even in the chat, people are saying like it feels special. Something about this feels special. You know, you could. It's cool how they did it. It looks like they're doing it via like he's like being interviewed and like recapping his life or something.
Yeah,
just
like
based
that.
on like the way they're cutting back from like him in that chair being interviewed and then shots. But you can like hear and see sort of like it wasn't, you know, like his music makes it seem like it was like
Happy all
he's
the
like
time.
happy all the time, but like, and the guy like, you know, and then but the trailer's showing like his getting gunned down and dealing with you know, like, you know, his getting shot, and then later in his life he's dealing with, you know, his struggle with cancer. So yeah, I mean the guy definitely went through his trials and tribulations. So I think it's a powerful story, and I think it's finally I guess I'm glad that it's finally getting kind of like the I keep saying budget, but the sort of artistic endeavor here in film that it deserves, you know, like putting forth like the acting and the shots and the recreation that's here. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think to me, because I really love the biopic Selena, you know, and I love that story, you know, and that one I think also does like a good job. And, you know, because her family was so involved. I don't know if, I wanted to find out more too about the director, because that's, you know, someone I want to see like what he's done. And
yeah, I mean, King Richard was pretty big. I mean, it was up for Academy Award, I think.
And the HBO series, I believe, was We Own the City by All in the Game. Said it in the chat.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I never saw, and I haven't seen anything else. I saw King Richard. It was well done, like well made. Not something I'd go back to, but definitely well made. Yeah, I know. It I hate to say it. It feels like a. I don't want to say like it. There's parts of this that also feel like paint by numbers in a sense, but in the sense for like biopics, right? You know?
Sure.
And there's a lot of like interesting, like I hope. There's a lot of the trailer where it feels like he's walking slow towards the camera or away from the camera, where it's like that introspective, like we're just supposed to like revere in his presence. And I'm hoping they kind of later in the trailer they kind of get away from that and they show him like being in life more, like playing soccer. There's shots of him like
those are great shots.
Doing like being with his kids and stuff like that. So I like there's like the shot of like in a waterfall or something too. So I hope it's not just this sort of like iconic, Bob Marley constantly just walking and like pointing at things and being like, and it's more, there's a lot.
No, it definitely feels more fleshed out. I think the trailer gives you that taste, but I think it's going to be way more fleshed out. There's going to be a lot of like, I'd say really good dialogue pieces here from both Kingsley and Lashana. Yeah, I think it's going to be very good. Like you see those emotional moments in there as well. It'll be well threaded out. I think like it'll just be, I think it'll be very good.
And kind of like what you're saying too, because like for me, like I feel like there's one like biopic recently for Whitney Houston, and I didn't watch it, but the trailer really put me off because I was like, oh, this just doesn't feel like it's giving her, you know, like the justice, you know, true story. Like it felt a little like costumey, you know, stagey, and like even like they're making an Amy Winehouse one, and I've seen photos from that, and I'm like, no, God, no, like please, no. First of all, it's a little too soon, but second of all, no, what are you doing? Like it just didn't look right, and so it's like this feels right, like this feels authentic, this feels like Bohemian Rhapsody, like I thought Freddie Mercury was on screen, like that was him, and this feels like he's truly like that's Bob Marley. That is like, even though it's not him, that's him. Like it just really feels like he truly captured his essence. So I like that.
You know,
it's funny you brought up that Whitney Houston, because I remember seeing the trailer for that and being like, hard pass. I don't know, but I like her music.
I love her so much. That it'd be like if they did that to Tina Turner, I'd be like, screw you, why'd you do that? Like She's a queen. You can't do that. Like, no.
They'll do it again in about 10 years' time. They'll do it again, and they'll do it better.
Yeah.
You just know it's gonna happen.
So.
No offense to the actors and Stanley Tucci.
No.
I still love you, but
this is such an interesting episode today because we have 2 biopics. One without like any sort of representation in like social media, any media at all. In fact, it's only paintings. And now we're obviously going straight into the future, basically, with Bob Marley, who's been captured so many times on film and like has media that all still touches us now, which is interesting. And then like Napoleon's all about war and conquest, and Bob Marley is all about love and peace. What an interesting dynamic you've chosen here today, Drew.
it is.
Thanks for picking up on the subtle,
Yes.
my subtle.
Yes.
I didn't.
So
The
interesting.
trailers came out. I just put them together. But yeah, no, it is fascinating that we'll get both of these this year, and
Interesting.
and both of these will probably be up for, you would think, maybe Academy Award, if not Best Actor.
Yes.
Just awards in
he's
general,
gotta.
they
Picture.
definitely have
Yeah.
to be. Yeah.
He's gotta.
It'll be interesting to see like what the audiences choose too. Are they more into, do they want the war conqueror epic, or do they want the like more One Love, Bob Marley, biopic,
Kingsley's gotta get it.
music driven.
I don't envy the Academy for next year, because aren't they also going to have Oppenheimer too?
And Barbie.
And Barbie.
God damn it.
Yeah,
No.
top. Gonna sweep awards.
Yeah, that'll be the
Listen,
Razzies.
she's getting great reviews, so it's.
I'm sure she's getting great reviews for acting like a doll.
And the Duolingo owl was on the pink carpet for the Hollywood
Okay,
premiere.
that alone should make it award
So that
worthy.
makes it a winning.
It has to get some sort of award. It gets the Duolingo
Yeah.
award.
Yeah.
Bling. Yeah, great. It's a little sound it makes.
Jeez.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it's going to be a real contender now for next year. I'm actually so happy to see so many really good films. You know when sometimes you get a year and you're like, wow, this year was shit for films. Like this
is a
year
good
seems
year.
to be really good for films, for a TV series, for like everything really.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good year.
Good stuff coming out. Yeah. I agreed. I mean, are you guys gonna go see this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would see
alright.
this, and I would go see it with my dad, because my dad plays music, and the first time I've ever heard Bob Marley was because my dad's playing it.
Aw.
Like he plays it on
that's
guitar,
cool.
and he played it
Oh,
like
no
with like backing tracks and stuff like that. So anytime I heard like One Love or Don't Worry Be Happy, like that's all dad.
Yeah.
Like all I hear is dad.
Aw.
So I'd probably go see this with my dad.
Found a thing, 'cause every little thing is
Gonna
gonna
be alright.
You're welcome, YouTube.
Dude, so good. I mean, it's just
great.
I just want to go listen to Bob Marley right now.
Yes.
That's basically I just want
Yes.
to end this and put on Bob Marley. It's so good. All right, guys. I mean, we have just a few minutes. Do you guys have anything you want to reco, or anything you're watching or reading or just into right now?
I saw Indiana Jones.
How'd that go?
That was it was great. I picked a seat because I forgot that Regal changed their theater setup, so now they all have recliners, so I thought I wasn't going to be as close to the screen, and then I chose a seat that was much closer, so that was like a little hard. Like my eyes were like, wow, this is really blurry, but like the movie was good. I liked it. It was a nice little, I was not expecting to be emotional, but I was very emotional, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then I was sitting there like watching the end credits, and then I was crying again in the credits because of the music. So like, if you go see it in theaters, stay for the score at the end, because it is just so beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, it was really good. And then I won't spoil anything, but I read Thomas's article after watching it, because I was like, I want to hear what he said, because I was like, oh, this is interesting, because it was a lot happened. And then The Great season 3, I've started watching that. Oh my god, that show is so fucking good. Like season 2, I felt like hit a little lull because of like COVID, and like there was things that they were dealing with. And then season 3 had started, and I was like, oh my god, like the first few minutes I was dying of laughter, because it was just so so good.
And that's The Great on Netflix.
That's The Great. It's on Hulu.
On Hulu.
So it's Catherine the Great and Peter, King Peter, or no longer King Peter, but it's Elle Fanning and Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so really
I don't
good
know.
show.
Nice.
I don't know why that I've heard of that show and I've seen things from that show, but I've never. It's probably because I don't have Hulu. It's like the one thing I don't have.
Yeah.
But because so it never kind of peaks up on my watch list, you know. But
Yeah, no,
what I've seen, I was like, oh, that looks interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I always forget watching it that it's not entirely historically accurate, and they play into it, like even in like the logo, like every time they say it, like it's like the great, and then I forget like it's like mostly true or something like that, like a little asterisk
Right,
like
yeah,
appears below,
Mostly
because like
true,
I'm watching
some.
this and I'm like looking up online, I'm like, wait a second, I was like, no, that's not true. I was like, oh, okay, like you know, like, and then they've added characters. I'm like, oh, that person didn't exist. Okay, like so it's just really interesting, and it's Russia, like it's just. Oh my god, it's like raunchy at times and like just like oh my god moments, and yeah, it's and it's pretty wild because it's so sad. Like this is stuff that actually happened and you're just like I can't believe that people did that. Like
I love stories like that. I like watching stuff where it's based on true events. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if it's like horrible, I still like watching it because I'm like, wow, really? Like this happened? It's cool.
What about you guys?
I'm stuck on King the Land for Netflix. Fuck you, Netflix, for releasing weekly. Honestly. I hate it so much because the episode was so good. And now I have to wait 7 days. But you know what? There's 8 episodes, so I'll just binge watch the episodes again. And then I'll,
there you go.
Yeah, it's just going to be how I have to approach life now. Yeah, it's pretty great. I think, you know what, though? Okay, so I am playing Resident Evil 4 over on Cracked, which is on Thursdays at 2 p.m. on YouTube. And we go live every Wednesday. Tell me why I can't stop thinking about that game. Tell me why. So fucking, like, it's so scary. It's so horrible. It's so stressful. I hate it. I hate every part of it. And yet I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, I really need to play this game again. And I'm like, no, I gotta wait till Wednesday. So, yeah. So, as much as I absolutely hate Resident Evil 4, it's a good game. Recommend. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I think it's because of, I don't know his name, but I think it's because of his hair. He's got that glorious.
You know what? Like... Fact, Stephanie. It's Leon Kennedy. I have a crush on Leon Kennedy, and everything that man does is so fine. But also, he's so funny. He's got like Nathan Drake humor, and I was like, okay, I'm loving this. He's like, I'll see myself out, and then jumps out the window, and I'm like, yeah, legend, you badass. Like, or leaving the area, and they were about to kill him, and now they're leaving me. Where's everybody going? Bingo. Ugh. Why you gotta be so fine, great. Leon? So yeah, we figured it out. It's Leon Kennedy. That's why I can't stop thinking about the game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not the guy with the giant axe or whatever. The
stupid sack face.
Sack face
with a chainsaw. And then I ran into a Minotaur guy. Did you see the Minotaur guy? Horrendous. Why is that? Why is that in the game?
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I mean,
no.
That's and then because it's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's in my like recent episode, but there's like a giant skull. Why? Like, does that mean there's something big in the game?
Does he have a big head and like little arms?
No, he's just really big head, and I'm like, well, now I'm gonna have to fight whatever the fuck that skull came from. So
totally,
the game haunts my nightmares.
That's video game logic. That's pretty good. Yes. Put that together. That's pretty good. So Resident Evil 4 over on Cracked on Thursdays.
On Thursdays at 2 p.m.
And live on Twitch on
Wednesdays at around 8 p.m. Irish time, so 12 p.m. PST.
There you have it, folks. No, yeah, definitely check that out. And then, I 2 things I'll just quickly recommend, and they're 2 things everyone else is probably already watching, and or everyone else on the internet has recommended already. So I'm kind of just jumping on the bandwagon. But The Bear, season 2, just I'm halfway through it. It's incredible.
Is this on Hulu as well?
It is. It is on Hulu. Yeah, and I have to go a roundabout way to watch it. But it's so good. If you're not familiar, it's a show about a restaurant in Chicago that the brother, one of the brothers, dies that owns the restaurant, and hands it down to another brother who's like a well-known chef who owned like a 5-star, who ran a 5-star, was a chef at like a 5-star restaurant in like Amsterdam or overseas, and he comes back to take over this restaurant, and then like antics ensue because it's like family oriented. There's family stuff, but there's also but there's also a ton of food porn. So if you're into like
Oh,
really
I
cool,
love that.
like if
You
you're
had
into,
me.
like,
You
like-
have me now.
Yeah, if you're into really cool like shots of food and food being made, but also like
Mm-hmm.
the anxiety of how food restaurant businesses run and the
Yeah.
anxiety of like a dysfunctional
Yeah.
family, you know, like that coincides with just it's like a perfect fit of like comedy and stress that just bundled together that is just so good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just epically made. And then the other thing, I mean, I'm only a few episodes in, but God, The Witcher, is still the
Really?
best
I haven't tried it yet. Is it good?
fantasy. It's the best fantasy show that's out there right now, hands down,
Okay,
hands
fair.
down best. It's so good. Like every season, I'm always impressed, and this last season continues to like. There's a scene, Pagan and Stefan, I'm sure you'll freak out on this. There's a scene that is absolutely just horrifying. He fights this monster that is just of where these faces come out of this wall. I mean, it
Oh,
is
no.
like it is nightmare fuel. I
Like
was sitting next to my wife. I was
Avatar?
like, this is fucking terrifying. Like,
Great. Can't wait to watch that.
it is. It's super cool. Like it's definitely going. And the fight scenes. Gosh, guys, it's so well done, so executed. Like Rings of Power needs to fucking start taking notes here because
Oh my gosh, facts. How disappointing.
yeah, whatever. Everything The Witcher's doing is just hands down like better storytelling, better action, better
Yeah.
set art direction. Like it knows what it is and it's leaning heavily into it. And all I can say is like I don't even know how this show's gonna exist without Henry Cavill because he's just such a big part of it. But we'll see if the Hemsworth can carry on the throne in season 4. But those are my two things. Definitely go
Nice. I'll
check
have to
those
hop
out
on the
if
Witcher
you
for
Nice.
sure. Yeah.
haven't. Yeah. All right, guys.
Cool.
That'll do it for us for this week. And you can check us out here every week on YouTube. Thursdays we go live at noon on Tuesdays, and then you can also check us out Trailer Talk on a podcast that'll come out later today. So if you're like, hey, I want to go on a jog and I want to listen to these fools talk about trailers, you can do that anytime. And
Or
you
if
can
you're in the
also
bath,
leave us a
like you can
Yeah.
also not be
You know,
active.
How do you
You know?
bath and listen to a podcast?
What do you mean? How do I bath and listen to a
Hey,
podcast?
You've got like a little table. You've put your phone
Yeah,
or
you
whatever
put your
on
you
the
put
table.
you close the toilet seat down. You put your laptop on the toilet
Yes.
seat, and you press play. And by the end of this, you're like, I'm done with the bath. Let's go.
But don't you have to like turn that shit up like super loud? Like isn't it like crazy? Like is the
Where are you
the
playing?
bath-
Where are you bathing? Like, are you bathing in
the
a
water's
factory?
not running the entire time. Like
Yeah, the
it's just you fill the bathtub
take a
up.
bath. I'm thinking of taking a shower. We don't take baths in America. We shower.
Drew's really
shower-
sick, guys.
We shower. We shower.
Drew's
like
bath
normal
time
humans.
is when the plug is clogged and it just
Yeah.
starts slowly rising.
so true.
No, bath time, Drew, where you fill
Yes.
a tub.
We don't have time for baths. You have
Listen.
Oh,
baths.
I
2.5
love a good
minutes.
bath.
Go watch
2.5
the Truman
minutes.
Show. There's a shot of a man watching the Truman Show in a bathtub. That is exactly,
That's
that'll be
literally
a good
me.
reference
A
point.
good cozy evening, I swear to God. Candle,
Yes.
bathtub, and then like watching some kind of like, I don't know, horror story, murder mystery. I don't know.
Wine in hand.
Or-
or-
True story
Trailer
murder or something. You know, it's
Yes.
just so
Apparently.
relaxing to watch.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, oh, that's a bit dicey. And then the people who know. The people who know. Just saying.
No one knows. Everyone
Swear to
showers.
God, we're a
You're the
whole
only-
ass
you're the only one who
community out here,
passes.
man. We're a whole ass community.
Yeah, everyone-
Case file
yeah.
on yeah, you know what? There you go. Case
We don't
file
even-
on
half the
podcast.
houses out here don't even have baths. You have to like pay extra for a bath.
Or they have gross baths.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go.
We have bigger houses.
Anyway,
This makes no sense to me. Anyway,
Fucking bath tangent. I'm trying to wrap this show up, y'all.
All right, sorry.
No worries. Yes. Listen, if you're taking a bath, watch us on Trailer Talk, I guess, or listen to us.
yeah, do let us know. Tweet us,
and
will
then-
ya? Send me a picture of the bubbles.
Yes.
Nothing under the bubbles, just the bubbles.
Just the bubbles.
Yeah, thanks.
I want. Send me the stuff under the bubble. And until next time, guys, we will see you later. Cracked. We already mentioned Cracked. Screen Smash on Mondays and Fridays, and then Atlas Terminals back next week for our first TTRPG show. Super cool. Go and that'll be live on Twitch and coming out later on YouTube in the week. So and you can find all the information. We tweet all about it all over our socials. We're on Threads. baby. Yeah, baby. We're on Threads. We're on Twitter.
He's on Threads.
We're on the Insta. We're on the Facebook. I'm on
Soup is
Threads.
on
So is
Threads.
CouchSoup.
CouchSoup's on Threads.
Yeah,
CouchSoup be
CouchSoup's on
threading.
Threads. Be threading, yo.
Threading
So
those soups. Let's go.
make sure to follow us there so you get up to date on all the things. So until next time, we will see you next week. Actually, we have a shoot next week. I'm not sure Trailer Talk will be there, but if we're not, it'll be the following week, and we're definitely going to watch the Ahsoka trailer.
Woo.
Probably, maybe 90% sure. I don't know. It could change.
You know, unless Bridgerton season 3 trailer comes out, then
There you have it. Yeah.
Also, that yes, I vote for that too.
No.
And if it's just you, it's 2 against 1, Drew.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
Maybe. You guys win.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.